Hey boys and girls, welcome back to Waylon Myers Old Iron. You know, I got dementia really bad, and I'm under the delusion that I'm still living out in the country and working in my little shop and banging around on old iron with everything going wrong. I'm wondering when I'm going to snap back to reality and I'll wake up and I'll be back in the rest home playing bingo. But right now, I'm on a trip.
You know, I'm not a mechanic, and I'm not a car builder. I'm just an old redneck having a good time banging around on this rusty old iron. So buckle up and hang on. Let's see what's going to happen next around here.
And we're going to shoot over and pick up old Waylon wire over there. He does some cool stuff.
Hey, welcome to Ratrods. My name's Waylon Wire, and don't ever do what we do here on this channel. Well, I was tracking my piston rings that I ordered for this thing, and I got to notice that it was been delivered, and I went down the mailbox, and here's this great big box in there, just barely fitting my mailbox. What is that? That's a foot, a little over a foot long. And I opened it up and I go, oh my goodness gracious me, oh my. Here's a set of rings for a 6-cylinder in this big box. I got big hands, and you can see how big these things are. These boxes are 6x6. And it scared me at first. I go, man, these can't be for this thing. These must be for some great big honking diesel or something. But it says right on it, you know. And they are standard, single piston set, standard, and that's the part number. I've looked that up before, and so I took them out and measured them. They measured 4 5/8, no, 4 3/4 across. Let me set you up here. So, look at these things. They measure 4 3/4 across, 4 3/4 diameter. It scared me at first because I know what the bore on this is, and then I realized, well, they got to compress down a little bit. They compress down to 4.56, so a little over 4.5 inch bore. But that just shocked me when I saw that great big box in there. That can't be my piston rings. But I guess it is. We'll find out as soon as I get a piston. Cousin Balin, he's supposed to be getting me a piston. He will. Well, y'all ain't gonna believe this. The hurrier I go, the behinder I get. It started snowing today, and I wanted to get this thing inside. So I moved the Dodge out. I had the points out of it. I had to order a set of points, and I was waiting for them, but I put it back together with the old points just to get the Dodge out there so I could get this in here. And I came out here and started, and it made a weird noise. It was cranking over, and then it made a weird noise, and all of a sudden, now all we get is this. I don't know what's going on if I strip the ring gear or starter fell apart, the Bendix fell apart. I don't know, Bendix gear not kicking in. I don't know, it's a weird sound. I never heard anything like that before, but that's not the major part. The major part is it's snowing, and I got to get this inside. I got to get this inside, and it won't run. So now I got to get the tractor and take a chance on busting out my taillights here, because I got no help. It's the way it is. Just the way it is. Might add that it's 32 degrees out here. can't turn those wheels, those big old fat tires. I can't turn them without the power steering. Okay, I gotta come up with another plan. Well, no, this is not what I had planned for today. I was gonna go get those points for the Dodge, for the D200, put those in, and put a clear coat on that truck. And now I have to contend with this because I need to get that truck inside in order to do that, and all my spaces are full, and I can back that one out, but you know, it's just so frustrating sometimes. I was telling a friend this morning, maybe I'll just give up this rat rod hobby and start making birdhouses or whirligigs or something. Maybe I'll take up bird watching. What do you think? Put in the comments what hobby you think I should take up instead of doing what I'm doing. Because I'm just going backwards. I can't get ahead. All right, I got to get this thing up in the air and find out what's going on with that starter. And it's a bugger to get out of there too, boy. I tell you what, the guy that designed this whole deal, oh, it's tough. He made it rough, fellers. You got to be an acrobat and a contortionist to get that starter out of there. And it's a nightmare getting the wires off of it. But I've done it before, and I'm sure that Bendix is broke or something like that. Something going on in there. It ain't right, fellers. It ain't right. So let's get this thing in the air and take a look at it. How about that? Ain't that funny? That's funny looking, ain't it? That's real funny right there. I'm trying to remember the procedure of getting that starter out there, and I think it has to come out through this hole right here. And I can't remember if that electric cutout has to come out or not. I think it might have to take 2 bolts out and swing it down in order to get that starter through this little hole. But before I can do that, I think the procedure is, I think I have to drop it or get the bolts out from here and get the starter loose so I can drag it out far enough to get the wires loose from it. I don't remember. I wish I could remember things like I used to. But This is a nightmare. I do remember that part of it. Yeah, it ain't fun, but I might as well get started. Okay. That wasn't tight. Make sure that's not sitting against the wire. What I gotta do is go up there and throw the main switch, the main kill switch. Forgot to do that, so let's do that right now. Come on, get out from under there. Okay, I got it stood up on its end there where I can get to the wires. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. I think you can. So I'm gonna go ahead and commence to getting them loose. And we'll see if we can fish it through that hole, but I don't think so. I think I've got to take that exhaust pipe loose and drop that electric cutout down in order to get it out through that hole. And that's the only way I'll go. It ain't going out the front because the headers and everything is thing, you know. All right, I'm gonna get that loose. You're not gonna be able to see anything, so I need that space where the camera is, so I'll let you know when something exciting happens. Well, there's that. And then there's that. And there ain't no way it's coming out through that hole. So, yeah, I got to break that exhaust loose and get that cutout out of the way. Let's see if I can show that starter back a little bit and get it out up off the top of that. Well, that one, I think I can just loosen. This one, can't get a box end on it. I think I can get a socket on it. Tricky one, but it's not terribly tight. So this one I'll take out. Then I'll have to go back to the top, I think, to get that other one out. I don't know if I can reach it from down here. I don't think so. We're fitting to find out. Oh, let's see. Boy, you know, I might be able to reach that. Oh, part of that starter. Yeah, I just might be able to go up through the lower control arm. Nah. Oh, boy. Yeah, I think I gotta go down through the top. I think it'd be easier. That's what lift's for, right? Well, now, let's see if we can. Oh, I really don't want to move those gaskets. Let's see if we can finesse that guy out of there. Well, oh yeah, that wasn't so bad. Just a little tedious and time consuming. Well, here we go. Here we go again. Once again. I have an idea. I think I'm gonna start out with one shim on that starter because I have an idea. It was either too tight. Well, I don't know if it's too tight because that thing kicked back pretty hard. It either is too tight or the timing is way off, which I don't doubt because I had to mess with it to get it started. So, yeah, you know, maybe I'll just wait on this in case I have to pull that out for some reason. I'll wait till I get that starter in to put this all back together. That's what I'm going to do. me get up in there and get it wired up.
He told me many drivers are able to operate their car and pilot.
It will not go to waste.
Now, I've observed, and I've mentioned before on your very program.
Well, there is so little access. You see where I gotta go? Way up in there. I gotta go. I gotta walk that lonesome valley. Oh man. I've got to go way up here. And I cannot lift this starter. I can't reach down and get it from above and pull it up and get to the bolt on the bottom. I've got to do it from the bottom here. But with this access right here, I'm not able to do it, and you can't reach it anywhere else in here. Nope. As you can see, things are pretty tight here. So I guess I'm gonna let this back down again. That exhaust cut out. And see if I can get my hand further up in there. It's hard to hold that starter up with one hand, but I gotta do it. I just gotta do it somehow. I don't remember how I did this before by myself, but I'm sure I did. Well, I had the bolt lined up because it fell out. It wasn't bound up. I think I got it started. I got to put that other one in, try to get the other one started, and then back that one out because I got to put a shim in. Boy, that one ain't wanting to go. Oh, there we go. Maybe, just maybe. Did it go? Let me see. Get started. Hallelujah. Man, I hate to take that other bolt out, but I got to. Because I'm sure I got to get a shim in there. I just can't get to it anywhere. Take the pressure off of it. off a little, I guess. And that scares me. That's all right, I've been scared before. My dad used to say, when I get scared, I ain't afraid of nothing. That's kind of the way I am. Oh, got it. I got it. Now, can I get this one? Well, I hope you all having much fun as I am. I'm gonna try this with one shim. If I have to, I'll loosen it up and put another one in there, but I'm hoping I don't have to. I gotta check it. Charlie was telling me to use a paper clip in there. That's how they used to do it. And this instructions came with this thing, and they put a little Allen wrench in there. Said that's the depth. I don't know about that. I imagine being too tight. I didn't have shim in it before, and I'm thinking that's probably what busted the nose off of it. I think it's a possibility. It kicked back so hard. I don't know. I'm not a mechanic, and no redneck banging around on this rusty old iron. Well, you don't know stuff because you struggle, you know. I struggle a lot. Get yourself on there. Yeah, I think I'll see what that starter sounds like before I cinch everything up. Now, trying to get the lone wolf on there, boy, that's something else too. That's another issue. Hard to do it from the top, but I think I got to. All right, I'll work on that. All right, let's see what this hunk of junk sounds like. Well, that sounds better. You know, I've got an issue with this thing that I just cannot find. Ever since we rebuilt this thing, I rebuilt this truck after the fire. Some of you guys been around, most of you guys been around long enough to know all about that. Almost burnt my shop down. Yeah, so anyway, but I ain't got no quit in me. I'm just dumb enough to just stay right after it. So that's what I did, and I put it all back together, rebuilt it. I put this whole front piece in and a whole bunch of stuff. I pulled the engine out and I replaced all the seals and gaskets, and I think the engine's fine, but I just can't get it to run right. I can't seem to get those. I don't know if it's carburetors. Cousin Bailemeyer was here. He came out, bless his heart, and he stayed here and helped me rewire this whole truck. I mean, we stripped it down to bare metal and just redid everything and did it right, you know, because I had not done it right. I learned a lot on this rig. I learned a lot every time I work on something like this, you know, and I'm learning a lot over there, and I'm going to learn some more too, and that's the cool thing about it. But I don't know if these carburetors are not dialed in. Like I said, Cousin Bailemeyer had rebuilt the carburetors, and I know he did a good job. I mean, we did everything, clean stuff in the what do you call it, the ultra sonic. So that should have been all good, but it just wouldn't run right. And I threw some money at it, and a gentleman in California sent me the money to pay for those carburetors. I tell you, I was overwhelmed. I couldn't believe it. He's a musician in San Francisco, I think, and he said he after 20 years or so, he said he was finally an overnight success. I don't know, one of the pieces of his music got used in some TV stuff or whatever, and he started getting some pretty good residuals off of it. So, you know, what a guy. And he said, I'd like to ease the pain of those carburetors for you a little bit. So that was awesome, and I appreciate that so much. And because this stuff gets expensive, you know. Anyway, I just can't get it dialed in, and there's something going on. It'll run and then it dies, and then it'll start back up and run again, but pretty soon it'll die. And I'm wondering if I've got a bad distributor, you know, that Chinesium stuff. I just wonder if I got a bad distributor or bad coil or something going on with that, because I had put an electronic ignition in that Blue Diamond, that D200 Dodge I got, 65 Dodge. And it would do the same thing. It ran okay for a while, and then it got so I started up and drive it and head into town. By the time I get to the end of the driveway, it'd die. And then it would start up and run again, but then it would die. And I never did drive it anywhere because I didn't want to deal with that. And I messed with it. I finally pulled that Chinesium distributor out and threw it away and put the points back in. It ran fine. So I just can't get it dialed in. But I need to get it to run long enough to circulate the water and test the antifreeze, because I put antifreeze in the radiator. That was the whole beginning of this thing. I was going to start up and test the radiator, or test the antifreeze, and then I busted the nose cone off the starter, which I had another starter, but it was one I had issues with. I had tried and shimmed it and a whole bunch of stuff on another rig and never could get it to work right. So I did not want to use that nose cone. I just think there was something wrong with the casting on it. So I didn't. But here we are. Let's see if this thing will fire up. I don't know what's going to happen. As long as we don't catch anything on fire, we'll be all right. I got fire extinguishers all over the place. You know, we ain't messing around anymore. Of course, what I had happened before, a fire extinguisher, I went through 3 of them and couldn't put it out. So, but this is a different animal. It's a new day. It's a new dawn. Let's see what's going on. Well, let's put some juice to this thing. Let's fire up the, first of all, let's fire up the fuel pump. I know the timing's way out of whack because I was messing with it, and I got to put timing light on it again. I know that. I know this already. It's way out. Go. You know what I did? I turned the ignition switch off and then back on. Okay, I lost fire again. So what is it, guys? Have we got a bad distributor? Well, I think I might be on something. Of course, I might not be too, because I'm not a mechanic, but it's kind of pointing toward that distributor. And I'm trying to think back. I don't think I replaced that distributor. I know I replaced the cap and coil and all that, but I'm thinking maybe I did not replace the distributor. It doesn't look like a new one. I had a couple, or I had one on the shelf, but I think I used that for something else. I think this is the old one that went through the fire, and that could be an issue. All right, I'm gonna try and start this thing one more time. want to check something, if it'll start. Okay, it died. Now, it lost fire. So let's see. Let's check this distributor wire. Okay, we got power to the distributor. So I'm gonna, oops, turn that off. I'm gonna yank it. Probably got a bunch of people screaming right now. Change the module, just change the module. Well, I just don't really want that $59 piece of Chinesium junk in there. I'd rather have something better. I bought an A-cell and hopefully it's better. I don't know. I don't know, man. Life's hard when you're dumb. I'm telling you. That's a Whalen wire special right there, boy. Of course, the other distributor cap wouldn't fit this distributor. So I had to change up the coil and all that. Nothing can ever be easy. I had to put an extension on my leads on the timing light on account of the battery is way over here. Way over here. I think first of all, I'm just going to see if it'll run before I worry about timing. But I'm going to have to deal with that. Yeah, we got power now. Now the battery's dead. All right. I'm sure I got it circulated now. I can test the antifreeze, but it's getting kind of late. I'm not going to do that tonight. I'm going to try and get busy and get a video out. So there you go. Boy, that alternator's noisy. I got to the one I put on the Impala did the same thing. Started ticking, making noise. My belt's a little bit loose. I'll tighten that up, see if it helps anything, but probably make it worse. Okay, that's where we're going to leave this one, fellas. Thanks for hanging in there with me. Boy, life's hard when you're dumb. All right, boys and girls, that's going to be a wrap for another one. Thanks so much for taking time to tune in to Whalen Wire's Old Iron and see what the goings on are around here. It's always something. But hope y'all had a good Thanksgiving and spend time with people that you can tolerate, maybe even love. So, yeah, till next time, you know, I sure do appreciate you. And we'll see you real soon right back here on Whalen Wire's Old Iron.